Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you. Tuning in to the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, what's hidden? Thank you. Outcome and advice. All right. Excuse me. All right. The overall energy of today's reading is the Page of Wands. Following your excitement, feels kind of dreamy in a way. Page of Wand energy. The page doesn't have experience to see if following their excitement leads to what they want. So the Page of Wands might not know where this leads. They're just following their excitement. All right, so what do we need to know about this Page of Wands energy? Feels like they're following their excitement just to be happy, to enjoy the present moment. They don't know if it's going to lead to something else. They're just having fun, enjoying. Wow. Empress lovers. All right. I get this, the message that I'm getting is by no expectations. No expectations, just being present and enjoying life, being present and following your excitement. And it leads to this divine feminine Empress energy and lovers. Wow. Tell me more. All right. Five of Wands reversed, Page of Cups reversed. Okay, so there's this, it feels like you're embracing this Page of Wands energy and it's leading you to make really wonderful choices. You're in your divine feminine energy, very creative, very nurturing, very abundant, very attractive. Feels like you're attracting this lover's type of energy. There's someone who's showing up in a Page of Cups in reverse, very immature, shallow, and it looks like you're not interested in this connection. What happens with this Page of Cups reversed energy? Wow, that was a lot coming out. Okay. Whatever I'm about to deliver, it looks like you're in the Strength card. You have the strength to deal with this. It feels like you're in this, with this lion, and you're looking at this devil energy. You have the strength to get through whatever this is. You've been very patient. Okay, okay. There's a need to balance things out, alchemize this Page of Cups in reverse energy that it looks like with Five of Wands in reverse. I don't feel like you're engaging with this energy. Not interested in the fight. and you're alchemizing that. Okay. Okay. This is a type of energy that's immature, incredibly immature. And it looks like they've got a lot to say when they perceive a rejection from you. This person gets it feels like you don't want to argue, you don't want this fight, you're not interested in what this Page of Cups in reverse has to offer. You have the strength to alchemize this and rebalance. But it feels like they are perceiving this as rejection. You not fighting with them, you pulling your energy away, not interested in this. And they've got this, I'll make you miserable then. This is quite a demanding energy. They're wildly immature. And if they can't get access to what they want from you, then they will let you know in an overkill, painful way as possible. This is just a very immature person. All right. Anything else that the viewer needs to know about this energy? Queen of Pentacles with her back turned. I get the feeling that this is kind of how you're dealing with this. They're immature. They can't take rejection. They don't know how to handle rejection. And instead of going like, oh, all right, a no's a no, I'll go elsewhere, they're aggressive, verbally aggressive, very negative. Feels like they've got a lot that they're trying to hurt you as much as they can. And even if they make up stuff, this is someone incredibly unhappy, and their life's getting more unhappy. Maybe because of the way they operate. It looks like you're focusing on work, on your stability, on your finances, on your surroundings, in your 3D. You're very abundant. Oh, okay, and they are not. All right. So lack of expansion, a lack of any fire, any passion, any desire. Oh, this person's not going after their happiness, their joy. They feel impotent or a lack of their own spark. And you've got this Page of Wands spark. But you're not just the Page of Wands. You have divine feminine energy. You have Queen of Pentacles, abundance, stability, security, resources. This person's it looks like they came in an immature way, and you just pulled your energy, don't want this fight, not interested, and it looks like you clocked them as being immature, draining, and readjusted. They took that as a rejection, abandonment, and somehow you are to be, they're mad, very mad. And then I get that you're just focusing on you, focusing on what you can control, because you can't, deal with this. This person doesn't take any action, doesn't know how to do what you're doing. They don't have that spark. They don't have that spark. They don't know how to take action. They are in King of Pentacles in reverse. They are in a complete lack of stability. They put on a good show of how they want to be perceived, but they can't. It's a false perception. They don't know how to follow their excitement and what actions to take to create stability and abundance. And it's showing up here because they're not following their excitement. They're trying to fight with you. They're going about things in such an immature way because of some unhealed abandonment wounds and incredible unhappiness. I don't feel like this person really is seeing things fully or clearly at all. Ooh. King and Queen of Cups, both with their back turns. We've got the Queen and King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles in reverse, and now we've got another matched pair, Eight of Wands. They're all got their backs turned. There's something about this matched pair. I get the feeling that you might be their ideal match, or they're projecting that onto you, but they're not your ideal match. They're not a match. They're not at your level. They're not capable of following their own excitement, of enjoying and following their own excitement. They don't know how to alchemize, create, focus on what they want to create. It feels like there's some belief that if you choose them, if you're with them, then you would elevate them. I don't think you're looking for a fixer-upper. You're not looking for someone who can't meet you on your level, because that creates all sorts of issues. I get the feeling that this person somehow has an expectation of you to be in a partnership with them. You to buoy them. Get them from King of Pentacles in reverse to King of Pentacles upright. To help them light their fire and expansion. It doesn't feel like this person wants to learn. They just want you to do it for them. There's a bit of delusional thinking here that I'm picking up on. Fantasy. It feels like they've got a lot going on in the story that has nothing to do with reality. Because it feels like you are following your highest excitement, enjoying life. And that's leading you into divine feminine energy. But if you're in an Empress energy, then if you are interested in attracting someone else, I don't know if you are interested. If you are, you'll want someone who's at your level, not someone that you need to fix. Because people who, when you get into unmatched relationships, that person thinks they need you, but then they will resent you because you can do it and they can't, and they need you to buoy them. All right. Whew. In what's hidden, we've got the Empress again and the Eight of Swords in reverse. There's some clarity coming out where there's been limited perspective, stuck energy. There's clarity with the Eight of Swords, clear seeing, releasing limitations. Around this divine feminine energy that you're in, viewer. In what's You've got a lot of clarity around who you are. It feels like you've learned how to reparent yourself, that your inner child feels safe around you, that you have become the adult that your inner child needed. What more can you ask for? You can't control what happens to you in your childhood, right? But you've allowed what's happened in your childhood to shape you into the adult that your inner child needed. Beautiful. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. A lot of clarity. A lot of safety here. Joy, abundance. All right, and then we've got the Chariot reversed and the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this feels like this person's energy. They come in with a communication. They come in with just very basic communication, simple, maybe something over finances or something in the physical reality. And it doesn't feel like you're hooking in. You're not moving with this communication, not interested. With the Chariot in reverse, it didn't create the movement. No action. There's some fantasy. Again, I'm seeing there's some fantasy with, let me cover, she's naked, and that just can't be tolerated. We've got the Moon card and then the Knight of Cups. Delusions, illusions, both of these cards talk about that. This is more fantasy, an illusion, delusions, a lot of emotions, a lot of unprocessed emotions in their unconscious. Fantasies, delusions. So this person is not wanting to connect with you, but wanting you to be the limerent object that they project their desires onto. And when you don't want to be that because you have clarity, you're not showing up for others, you're showing up for your inner child, for yourself, to create what you want to create. in this space. What else? Tell me more so we can understand about this illusions, delusions, fantasies. Yeah, okay. Protect yourself, create protection, create healthy boundaries. Okay, so maybe that was your response to the projections, the communications that you're not interested. I'm not interested in you projecting your unmet needs onto me. And so it looks like you create a boundary. All right. Maybe that's what happened. You created a healthy boundary with this person and they did not like that. They took that as some type of rejection, that they're not going to get their fantasy and their needs met. And somehow they think they somehow there's an expectation here that you be their fantasy, that you be their limerent object, and that you don't comply. It's hitting all their rejection buttons and blame, and they act out and try to hurt you in the most painful way as they can imagine. Whew. All right. What else does the viewer need to know about this? Anything else that's hidden? That feels complete in what's hidden. Yeah, Page of Swords. That feels like how this person communicates with you is through this page energy. They don't even know how. You operate in page energy as well, but it's following your highest excitement with no expectations for how things are going to turn out. Just following your excitement to be present and be with it. But this person is more in, because that's, okay, because your inner child healing that you've done and you've stepped into your divine feminine and created a safe space for your inner child's coming out to play. Enjoying life. It's beautiful. This person's showing up in page reverse energy. A wounded, unhealed inner child. And somehow, instead of doing the healing like you've done on yourself, somehow there's an expectation, fantasy, delusion that somehow you will do this for them. And when you don't, they get very upset. In the outcome and advice, we've got death reversed. Can't let this go. Seven of Swords in reverse. Be tactical with your communication with this person. The less said, the better. Because this person's not dealing with reality. They're in their woundedness. They have projected onto you a fantasy, an idealized whatever. And when you don't comply with that, when you don't agree to be the limerent object and become their fantasy, they get very mad. So I wouldn't poke this person. Be tactical, say less. All right, let's get anything else that would be helpful for the outcome and advice. Ooh. All right. This card came over here. The Four of Wands in reverse fell right on top of the Four of Wands in reverse. over here. Okay. They might have had a very unhappy connection. Very unhappy. I don't know if they know how to create happiness. They're very unhappy. And they just keep getting more and more unhappy. And it might be related to how they are perceiving their world and how they are using projections, expectations, fantasy, limerence. There's a need to heal from this situation, so take care of yourself, viewer. Take the time you need to recover from this, and focus on your work. Focus on what does work. It does look like this person might come after your stability, your security, what they wanted. When you refuse to be their counterpart, that's what they'll go after. They don't have stability. They don't have security. It looks like that's what, yeah, so they want to take away. So if you're not going to play the role that they want you to play, need unmet needs. And if you're not going to accept their opportunity and agree with their fantasy so they can elevate, there we go. So they can be perceived. They want what you have. And instead of figuring out for themselves, they want somehow to partner with you and you to fix them, uplift them, so they can have success. So they can. So this is a way of codependency, dependency, and it doesn't look like you're interested, and you're moving on. I don't know how to. You're not interested in this type of connection. To buoy someone that's not at your level. They're not at your level. They're not willing to put in the work, the effort, but they want to kind of demand from divine feminine energy that you be their limerent object that they can project their fantasy onto. And they have expectations that they aren't sharing with you, and unconscious agreements, and mix it with some delusion. And if you don't cooperate, then they'll make you pay. It looks like they'll make you pay by trying to hurt you with words as much as possible. Communicating a lot, overkill, to destroy. If I can't have you, then I'll destroy you. And then they can't let this go. It looks like they want to come after your stability. I just keep getting the message to keep moving on, heal from this, disconnect, detach. Don't give this person any more attention. If they can't come in, and if you don't agree and play nice, then they get really nasty. I think in the past, playing nasty would scare someone into cooperation. It doesn't look like that's having the same effect on you. And that's confusing them. It looks like healing your nervous system and taking the time you need, and keep moving away from focusing on what you can control, which is you. Yeah, this person just... How many King of Swords? There's a Knight of Swords in reverse, King of Swords in reverse, Page of Swords in reverse. This person has a lot to say. Another King of Swords in reverse, and they're not seeing things clearly. And if you're not going to cooperate, then the way that you now see you as the villain, as the problem, they want everyone to perceive you that way. If they can't control you, then they'll control how people perceive you. If you don't agree to help them, then they'll destroy you. So I can get why you didn't want to work with this type of energy. I am not getting anywhere. It feels like this is a lesson to not engage, to unmatch as much as you can. You are protected. And keep that mantra. I am divinely protected. I am protected from this. I'm focusing on what I can control, which is me. And I'm going to focus on what I'm creating, nurturing myself, loving myself, being in the real world, focusing on whatever you're building and creating in the 3D, stability, and let this energy kind of move through. So, all right, that's your message. I hope that's helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.